Hello, everyone, and welcome to TPC Game Time. My name's Meter, and I'm joined here in the booth today by the league founder, Langell. How's it going today, Langell?
I am fantastic, Meter. How are you?
I am so good. Thank you so much for asking. We have an amazing game here today. Houston taking on Los Angeles. The Chargers against the Texans. What do you expect to see here from this matchup here today?
I feel as though the Chargers are a team with a little bit of a rebuild going on, and Crafty is an all-out veteran in this league. But I think that Bama is up for the fight on this one. He's bringing it all here to game time.
And in the bottom left and bottom right of your screen right now, you can see Crafty Dinners controls the Texans and Bama Shocks controls the Chargers. Both of these guys so good at what they do. As we watch here, the opening kickoff was well through the end zone. Started him out on the 25, ran forward to the 34, and then was stuffed on down number 2. And on the 3rd, picking up that first down on a little out pass on the left side.
Watson 2 for 2 on passing so far this game.
I
got to give not at all. I got to give a quick shout out. Crafty Dinners and Bama Shocks are 2 of the better gamer tags in our league. They're creative and they're funny, and I love them.
You just like Crafty Dinners because you're Canadian.
That is true. I can't deny that one.
And you know what? That's fair. I got some Kraft dinner in my pantry myself.
Well, then you're an honorary Canadian, sir, for a number of reasons, but you are definitely an honorary Canadian.
But I am fresh out of Bama Shocks.
It's funny how that happens.
It is. Houston, 2nd and 7 after a 3-yard run. Man in motion on the right side. The snap thrown out over the middle. This one's caught, brought up past the 50, trying to make a move, and taken down at the 46-yard line. A great pass and a great run. 13 yards there for Houston.
That's a huge gain. And we just recently saw the Houstons take on the Texans take on the Raiders last week or the week before here on Game Time. So the Texans are one of the must-watch teams in this league.
They definitely are, and this is my must-watch game this week. My choice was Texans versus Chargers, and hopefully you're all going to see why here today. Another run up the middle here. Pick up a 5, 2nd and 5.
And the Texans just keep marching. We have another game this week that's going to be huge. So if you're enjoying this one, make sure you come back for the Vikings and the Bears.
Oh, my.
2 league veterans.
That is going to be an amazing game. The 2-time TPCFL champion Kiv Style taking on our broadcast partner and another veteran in the league in Cobus 1984. That is going to be one hell of a matchup. And that's tomorrow, right around the same time. I think is that 6 or 7?
I believe it is 7.
Looks like
6.
7:30 Eastern.
So 8:30 Atlantic, or wherever you are, do the math on the time zones. You do not want to miss that game.
Hell no. 3rd and 7 now. 2 out to the left, 2 to the right, and 1 just off to the left. The snap, waiting, throwing out over the middle. This one is swatted out of the air. What a dive!
Wow.
Superman.
What a dive. That would have been the prettiest interception all season if that would have fell for Bama Shocks.
It still might be the prettiest swat of the season.
Indeed. Texans kicking it off.
Yeah, forcing Houston to punt it away. And this one out of bounds just inside the pylon, and they'll start this drive from the 20-yard line. But most importantly, the Chargers with a big stop right out of the gate.
And you could see what Crafty and the Texans were aiming for. They were aiming for that 1-yard line to force the Chargers back. It's hard to make those punts. I mean, Colby seems to be able to do it, but it's very rare in this league consistently to do that.
Colby and John Z are 2 of the best I've ever seen at punting, always within 3 yards of the end zone on a punt. I don't know how they do it. Absolutely amazing. Oh, and blitzing in, coming in through a huge gap in the offensive line and picking up the sack. 2nd and 16 after a 6-yard loss.
Absolutely not the way Bama Shocks and the Chargers wanted to start their opening drive, but they can turn it around. They have lots of time here.
They do indeed. And that's definitely what they're going to need. The big thing to do here is to not panic. And both of these guys so good at what they do, I don't see panic in either of their eyes.
No.
Oh,
We have an injury. J.J. Watt is injured.
Nobody tell Slangel. J.J. Watt is down.
Yeah, that could end her season.
A loss of 1 on the outside run to the left side. They line up again with 1 in the backfield. An offensive line strong out to the right side. Handoff fake, looking, throwing out over the middle. This one's caught, and he is knocked down
fumble.
so hard the ball bounces loose. He gets back up on his feet and takes off Reed, recovering that fumble and giving them amazing field positioning, the 22-yard line. And what a hard hit to knock that ball loose.
That was absolutely devastating. Both the hit itself and what a way to end that drive. The Chargers now on their heels in their own defensive side of the field, practically in the red zone meter.
That's one way to move the ball downfield, is to kick it. And this time it worked very, very effectively for Houston.
Oh, PCL strain will not be able to return this game. That's a huge blow to the Texans.
Absolutely it is. You said a PCL strain?
Yes. I don't wish that on anybody.
I do not as either. Depending on the grade of the strain, it could take anywhere from 10 days to 8 weeks to recover from a PCL strain. So
that could be the season.
It could be the season. It could just mean he's out for the game. We'll find out probably at the end of this game. But in the meantime, another sack. This time a loss of 9. What a huge play. Pushing them all the way back to the 31. And a 3rd and 19 for Houston.
If the Chargers can hold off the Texans even to a field goal right now, that is a huge, huge accomplishment.
It is, especially after the fumble. And a hit so big
wow.
The ball pops loose. That's incomplete.
What a defensive juggernaut this team is. And when I speak of the Chargers, that could have been an easy 7 points for the Texans, but not on Bama Shocks' watch.
48-yard kick is up. It's got the angle. It's got the distance. He's got the points.
3-0 lead now for the Texans. Late here in the first. So much better than what it could have been.
That's very true. Depending which side of the coin you're on, Houston started with the ball, forced to punt the ball away, and then a fumble by the Chargers led to a very, very short drive that actually I think might have ended up going backwards in net yardage, but ultimately ended in 3 points.
And now we get to see the Chargers try again from the 24-yard line. Hopefully not a repeat of their last drive.
1st and 10. Rivers directly behind the center, a man in the backfield, 1 out to the left. The snap thrown out to the left side. This one is caught and dropped. He's hit very, very hard. A great defensive play there. Hats off to Justin Reed, the free safety, for coming in and knocking it out.
That ball left his hand like a rocket.
He knew right where he was going. The ball got there. He just couldn't hold on to it with that amazing hit.
The Texans are strong on defense. They can intercept, but they also have a huge ability to hit.
Almost intercepted, a little lob here. Diving.
The Texans, sorry, I must have cut out there. The Texans definitely a threat on defense against any team they play in this league.
That is so true. And when you have such amazing talent on your team, a lot of their highest paid and their top rated players are defensive. And you know what? From my position, I love a defensive team. That's a great spot to be in.
Indeed. 3rd and 10 now.
Rivers in the shotgun with 1 on either side, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. The snap, throw it out over the middle. This one's caught, and he's taken out immediately.
I think he's short of the line. Yes, 4th and 2.
And that will end the first. The first quarter is over. An 8-yard pickup ended it. And the Chargers now forced to punt this one away.
Here's the kick.
Ryan Quigley Punts this one very deep to about the 13. It's going to be returnable, getting out towards the right side and taken down at the 25. A 12-yard return there.
The conductor asked for tickets and said that, the conductor asked for tickets and that train ride is over. Starting now at the 25-yard line.
3 out to the left. Watson in the shotgun. Miller off to his right. Griffin on the right side of the offensive line. The snap. Handoff fake. Dropping back. Throwing out over the right side. Wide open, and he's taking off. He's got all sorts of room, too, trying to get on him, and he just keeps moving. Thomas, absolutely huge, both in stature and in playmaking ability. Pulling this one up for 40 yards.
I like to call that a 40-burger.
2 to the left, 1 to the right. Miller just off to the right. A lot of audibles calling out right now for Watson. He takes the snap from behind the 40, throwing out to the left side, wide open again. He's caught. Finally taken down at the 11, but Watson has been making some amazing throws, finding the open receivers and making Los Angeles pay.
20 yards plus a throw, basically. I mean, he's on fire right now.
He is. They line up in the same formation. Snap, draw, handoff, pushing forward, and taken down at the 6.
Ran into one of his own players. That's unfortunate, but still gained 5 yards on that play.
He did, and it moved them deep into the red zone, deep into the red hot zone. The 6-yard line. Next stop, pay dirt. 5 yards for a first, 6 for 6.
Nobody does it better, Meter. Nobody does it better.
Same formation. Watson behind the 15 to the 20. Thrown out to the right side. This one's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Texans.
Texans go up by 6, possibly 7, based on the PAT that's upcoming.
DeAndre
You just couldn't
Hopkins
stop them on
pulling
that drive.
one in. I agree. Very hard to stop him in that situation. They just drove so well.
Kick is up, and it's good, and now it's a 10-point lead. Oh, we have an injury.
Uh-oh.
Houston. Griffin is injured.
That is not good.
No. We'll wait to hear back on that one. Texans now kick it back to the Chargers. That's potentially 2 players they've lost in this game, and this time of the season, you can't afford to lose any players.
That's very, very true. Ryan Griffin, their tight end, currently injured. We'll see if we get a report on what exactly happened and if he's going to be able to return. In the meantime, go ahead.
It must have happened in the line for that kick, and the camera was focused on the kicker itself. I didn't see what happened.
I didn't either. Handoff, and he is bodied, trying to get up the middle and nowhere to go.
Shoulder tear.
Oh, goodness.
That's potentially a season-ending injury.
That is absolutely devastating once again. Shoulder tear, we're talking 4 to 6 months.
Well, we'll see him back next season. Then we wish him the speediest recovery possible.
And unfortunately for Ryan Griffin, I hope he got all of his stats in because he is a potential free agent this year.
Wow.
So he could find himself sitting on the sideline if he doesn't really focus on his recovery, but that is a lot of speculation.
That is. It's going to be interesting to see where players possibly go in the offseason before we enter season 7.
I have this. Never mind. The Chargers with the ball, 3rd and 7, trying to hand off, get out to the right side, and he's hit quickly. Gordon with another loss.
The Chargers just can't seem to get anything going right now.
They can't. Clowney is devastating. I
wouldn't want to face him.
I do not like being on the other side of Clowney.
No. I don't think anybody does.
This punt is to the 20. Going to be returnable. There's the 30. A little juke move taken out about the 32. A 12-yard return. Not a bad day.
As a broadcast journalist, I research things, and I found out that Clowney's mirror doesn't even like being on the opposite side of him.
One out to the left side, man in the backfield. Two on the right side of the offensive line, one on the left. The snap, thrown out over the middle. This one's caught, running backwards towards his quarterback before pivoting and turning. They're not going to give him the forward
Still
momentum.
picking up 7 yards. No.
Indeed, 7 yards, 2nd and 3 now.
The Texans shouldn't be in any hurry right now. They have a 10-point lead, drain this clock down, and get to halftime.
Handoff, pushing forward and taking down quickly. Maybe a yard there. 3rd and 2 from the 40. You know, we're heading rapidly towards the 2-minute. I believe we'll see that before any plays are called. But
yeah,
you say Houston maybe should dog it at this point. I don't know. It's real hard in this league to ever dog it, to ever just let the clock run down when there's still an entire half left to play. It's a hard position to put yourself in.
Right, but how I was thinking about it was if he can drain as much time off the clock as possible, even if he's forced to kick it, it doesn't leave the Chargers a lot of time to come back.
Oh, that's very true. Take as much time off the clock, but finish with a touchdown? I like that thought. Throw here over the middle on the blitz. It's caught, did not panic, and another injury.
Miller is injured for the Texans. This is a disastrous game for the Texans. They may win the battle, but they may lose the war.
That's a really good observation. Lamar Miller, their halfback, injured on the play. An 8-year veteran, his 8th year in the league. He is down.
We wish him the speediest recovery and hope everything's okay.
Throw here off to the right side. Hit while throwing, and the ball falls incomplete.
This has to be, I would say, for the Texans, their worst half of a game as far as staff and personnel go.
Absolutely.
They've lost 3.
Absolutely. Miller also up for renewal of his contract this year.
Trying to make forward. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to just apologize to any of the audio. Oh, here we go. Bruce Sternum will not be able to return this game. I was just going to mention the fact that we seem to be having a little bit of audio issues, so Meter and I don't mean to be talking over each other. I'm going to try to keep an eye on it, but we apologize for that.
Bruised sternum. We're looking at 2 to 4 weeks, depending how severe that bruising is, of course. But definitely don't expect to see him back in this game.
That's unfortunate for the Texans. I have to give you credit, though. You have like WebMD up on another screen or something. You have the exact timeline for these injuries, and it is really adding to this broadcast.
1 way out to the left, 3 offset to the right, and 1 just off to the left. The handoff fake, dropping back. It's Watson throwing out to the left side on the cut. This one's intercepted. What a huge play. He cuts quickly and turns around. 1 guy there to take him down, and Watson makes the tackle himself, but King comes up with a huge interception inside the red zone.
That is amazing. The Chargers needed that. Hopefully they can turn this into points before the clock runs out.
That's a fair point. They have all their timeouts, and 55 seconds. That's plenty of time for Bama to make some moves. Handoff fake, looking outfield, thrown out to the right side. This one's caught over the head of a defender, and he's taken out immediately. Timeout Los Angeles with 49 seconds, but 22 yards picked up on that one.
Massive play on that. Quick shout out to Colbus 1984, who is currently in Crafty Dinners chat, giving him a host. Thank you for the support, brother. We definitely appreciate it.
Rivers now making some calls. Shift from the defense. Snap. Handoff fake. Looking. A man coming in quick, and he's not able to get the ball away. That's a sack for Clowney.
That is the problem with the play action pass. You leave yourself wide open, and if you don't get that ball off quickly, that's the result. More times than not, that's how it ends.
The Chargers call a timeout with 35 seconds after losing 10 on the sack. 2nd and 20 now with 35 left on the clock from their own 44-yard line.
Yeah, they need to pick up about 20 yards if they even want to think about firing a field goal right now.
Rivers with the snap, handoff fake, looking downfield, throwing it deep into coverage. This one almost picked off. Bumped by the intended
Tipped
receiver.
away. 3rd and 20 now from the 44-yard line.
This could be a huge play here, depending what the outcome is.
I would say if he makes it, he should try to get out of bounds. If not, use that timeout and the time left in the clock, go for that field goal. Guarantee yourself some points.
3 points right now would taste pretty good going into the locker room. Something to build on. The snap here.
Agreed.
Thrown over the middle, and this one's caught. Just a little bit of yardage, 7.
No, apparently. Oh, wait. You're right. He was. Yeah, I got you. Sorry. Timeout by the Chargers.
Timeout with
Now, do you
18
attempt a field goal here, or what do you do? I mean, I don't think he's in range, and you potentially give up the ball on downs on your own 49-yard line.
I do not know. This is a very tough situation. Real risky to go for it here, but they're going to go for it anyway. Rivers from the shotgun with one out to the left, a man just off to his left. 3 offset on the offensive line to the right side. The snap. Stepping forward, taking off as Rivers, running into his own guys and taken down. And with 12 seconds left on the clock, that's a turnover on downs at the 50-yard line.
I like the strategy. I like the idea because obviously the Texans were expecting a long ball. Had he not bumped into his own player, Rivers may have got the first down on that.
Possibly, but without a timeout,
Right.
wouldn't have been able to stop the clock. Handoff now, rushing forward and taken down. 8 yards picked up there, 2nd and 2 from the 42. Timeout Houston with 7 seconds on the clock. That's enough time for a quick pass play and a field goal. They play their cards right.
And they have a timeout in their pocket.
Very good point. 3 off to the left.
They're aiming for that end zone meter.
From the shotgun. The snap. Looking. Taken off. And he's got the first and 1 second and 0 seconds. That ends it. The first half is over, and the lead is 10 points for Houston.
They're leading in the points, and the Chargers are leading in eliminating players from this game. Unfortunately, as far as the records go, the points are more important.
That's very true. This one kicked just to the edge of the end zone. It's going to be brought back out. There's the 20. There's the 25. And Houston catches up with him, takes him down at the 27-yard line. Not a bad run out by Jacobs.
No, not at all. Starting on the 27-yard line, you can't ask for much more than that.
A couple extra yards when you're in the red zone makes all the difference.
I agree completely.
2 out to the left. Rivers in the shotgun, takes the snap, throwing while being rushed in. This one's caught and taken down at the 36. Going to be about a yard shy, inches shy of a first down. They'll give him 10 yards, but hold him back as the chains come out. 2nd and inches now. Rivers with the snap, handoff, trying to push forward and taken back a yard. Gordon, 4 rushes, -6 yards, over a negative yard per carry. That is not the type of stat you want to start racking up.
No, not at all. But the run defense from the Texans is in prime form this evening.
They predicted that run and had an all-out blitz ready for him.
I like the idea from the Chargers to sneak that one little inch in, but unfortunately, as we mentioned earlier, Crafty is a veteran and knows all the plays.
Throw over the middle. This one almost picked off. He had it in his hands and he dropped it. And that forces the 4th and 2 from the 34. Chargers have no choice but to kick this one away.
Aiming for that coffin corner.
Looks like he's going to get it.
Gets it at the 1-yard line.
Wow.
Amazing.
From so deep to punt it all the way to the 1. We were talking earlier about how it can be difficult to get a punt like that, even on the edges, even when you're close to the end zone, but from so far away, wow.
Yeah, that ball had eyes.
Handoff right up the middle, picking up some good yards and juking through 2 defenders. Foreman, only his 3rd rush on the day, already got 23 yards, 11 of them on that one.
Well, that gets them out of the red hot zone at least.
That's fair. 1st and 10 from the 12, 2 to the right, 1 to the left from the shotgun. Watson with the snap, looking, throwing out over the middle. This one's caught over the head of a defender, trying to get out of the way of the second, but taken down. 19 yards on that one.
And again, the Texans are on the move.
And 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Snap, waiting, throwing out to the left side on the out route. This one's caught, trying to rush up forward and taking out at the 38. A great turn as soon as he caught the ball to pick up 7 yards.
But the Chargers not giving up. They had a person in position and stop that run. Now it's 2nd and 3.
Directly behind the center. The snap, handoff up the middle, and he's bodied at the line.
Get it?
Whether he gets it or not is a judge's call.
3rd and inches.
They don't give it to them, but wow, was that a close one.
Definitely. Looks like they're going to try a run play again to try to sneak over that line. Hopefully the Chargers are in line for that defense.
Another handoff trying to get forward.
Nice play by the Chargers.
A great run stop. And now they'll get a chance to punt themselves.
So, Meter, while we have a second with this kick, if you were to predict right now, if you had to predict representing the AFC and the NFC in the championship game based on right now, what's your gut feeling? Who's coming out of the AFC? Who's coming out of the NFC?
Great question, Langell. I am definitely not stalling for time while I figure out the difference between AFC and NFC. If I was to make a bold-faced prediction right now, I would probably go with are the Chiefs controlled by a human?
Yes, the Chiefs are controlled by Iceman Illis.
And he's undefeated right now.
Exactly, yes.
Iceman's going to be going up against Shane.
All right. Write it down. The prediction made in week 12. And that's not a bad prediction. I would have gone with the same thing myself. The only thing I might change on the NFC side, I might switch Seattle for Minnesota, but you can't go wrong with Seattle as the pick, the defending champions. Look at this huge play by the Chargers. Well, look at this.
A beautiful spin move, a missed tackle, getting past 2 guys, trying to shake the third. He's finally tripped up on the bootstraps, but a huge gain, 46 yards on a little mesh play.
That was impressive, Meter. Any way you look at it, that was
that spin move by Henry was unreal.
The Chargers are serious.
Rivers from the shotgun takes the snap, looking, throwing out over the left side. This one's almost intercepted. Jumps up in the air and isn't able to come down with it. McKinney shaking his head, but I give my hat off to him for an amazing block.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Colbus 1984 saying, Langell, Minnesota has to get by the Bears first. Twice.
Sure, but Minnesota is a 2-time champion.
He's not biased.
No, what I'm saying is the fact that if you're basing it on experience, I'm not saying Chicago can't beat Minnesota. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that statistically speaking, I hope you make the Super Bowl, Colbus. How does that sound?
A little throw over the middle, swatted down. Slangel piping up saying the Bears have to get past Dallas too.
Jesus. Okay, I don't care who comes from the NFC. You guys figure it out. I'm going with AFC and Kansas City.
Oh, going for the field goal. The Chargers finally break the goose egg and make an omelet. 3 points up on the board and shrinking that lead to a single touchdown.
It's a huge drive by the Chargers. If their defense can stand up, they can get the ball back almost immediately going into the fourth.
That's a fair point.
What I like about the Chargers is, and I've noticed this all season, is the fact that they don't make big, flashy plays, but they're effective, and they can make their way down the field. They're not looking to long bomb at 30 and 40 yards every play. They have a strategy to take as much time off the clock as possible. Throws the pass. Oh, swatted away.
It worked for them on the last drive. Their big, flashy play was a little mesh pass that turned into a huge run up the left sidelines, including a beautiful spin move that caught the defense off guard. They made a dive at him and weren't able to come up with the tackle, and he just took off from there.
No, I agree, but statistically, that's not their gameplay. They work hard, nose to the grindstone, throwing it, and it's caught.
And he holds on. Go figure, the big man, unable to be knocked out of his hands. Demaryius Thomas, once again, coming up with a big play.
Now, I'm going to be honest here. I'm kind of surprised that the Texans are still able to move the ball as successfully as they have after losing 3 players in the first half.
A couple of those players were on defense. I think only Watt was the one on the offense.
No, Watt's defense.
Well, then there you go. They were all defense.
No, the tight end is offense. Anyway, we've got injured players playing for the Texans right now.
Hold on. Okay,
Yes.
yeah, Watt's LE, which I think is a left end.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me guess at the rest of them. As we end the third here.
The tight end is injured.
Lamar Miller, who is a halfback.
So he's offense.
He is indeed. You're
So
definitely
the tight
right.
end. So we get 2 offense, 1 defense.
Yeah.
But losing J.J. Watt is like losing 3 players on your team. So I'm actually impressed how the Texans are pulling together and still making it through this game.
Now from the shotgun, Watson calling an audible. 1 out to the left, 3 to the right. The snap. Waiting from behind the 30, thrown out over the middle of this one's caught past the half-yard line. A big fumble on a huge hit, and it's recovered by the Chargers.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely massive hit. James came in and crushed him. Derwin James, the sophomore, making his presence known on the field.
We don't see a lot of fumbles in this league, and that's 2 in this game alone.
Those giant legal hits are what I live for, Langell.
Totally agreed. Those massive hits, they bring people out of their seats.
A little lob pass here over the middle. Great pickup.
18 yards on the play.
The ball moved to the 36-yard line. The Chargers started with great field position after that forced fumble, and now look to make something of it. This is a very, very good opportunity for them. Handoff now, getting out to the right side, trying to get out of the way, and can't quite make it, making up some of the yards that he lost earlier today. 5 of them back on the board, but still a net -1 yard overall.
Those aren't the numbers you want in the run game, but again, he's making progress now. It was a slow start in the first. Actually, I want to jump back for a second to my NFC prediction.
Okay.
I am guaranteeing you
Uh-oh.
that the Philadelphia Eagles will not win the Super Bowl this season.
Uh-oh, Pete Rose is in the house.
No.
Handoff fake. Everybody took off to the left side, leaving somebody wide open down the field. What an amazing play. Are you kidding me? That had me fooled for sure.
That was impressive. Allen now with 69 yards on 6 receptions.
Nice. Somebody call Russell Wilson running out of the pocket, throwing while off balance, and making a beautiful play downfield. Well done, Rivers.
Definitely.
Man coming in
Throws
from the
it.
left side. This one lobbed into the end zone. It's caught, and he can't keep his feet in bounds. He drags 1 foot, but not them both.
And he got his uniform all dirty.
What a beautiful, beautiful play. Just not able to keep his toes in bounds, but 2nd and goal now from the 9.
If any of you were looking to take off earlier based on the half being 10-0, I advise you come back.
Throw over to the right side, brought down at the 4. A 5-yard pickup puts him deep in the red zone, Langell. It puts him deep in the red hot zone. 4 yards needed to tie this game up.
4 yards. There's 4 minutes left on the clock. Don't go anywhere, folks. It's just getting started.
3rd and goal, I formation, offensive line strong and trailing out to the left side. Rivers calls out to the left side, takes the snap, handoff fake, throws, hit while throwing and drops it. Almost intercepted as it just kind of sat there in the air.
They're very lucky that wasn't a turnover. I think the Chargers are going to go for it here on 4th down.
It looks like they may be going for it. I agree with you. They definitely are. Rivers in the shotgun.
Kicker's on the sidelines.
3 to the left, 1 to the right. The snap, looking, waiting, throwing into the end zone, and this one is swatted down. That's a turnover on downs at the 4-yard line.
Yeah, I would have done the exact same thing because even if you do turn over the ball on downs, they're on their 4-yard line. They have 96 yards to try to hit pay dirt. This is better than a punt.
This is a huge opportunity right now for Houston to seal this game up. I formation. 1 out wide on either side. Offensive line strong to the right side. Handoff trying to push forward and take it down at the 3. They lost a yard on that one.
The huge defense of the Chargers standing tall right now. They want that ball back. They want one more shot at it, Meter.
They do, and they need one more shot at it here to keep this game alive for them. The snap, looking downfield, thrown out to the left side on a short pass. This one's caught, taken down at the 12. Not a bad pickup at all.
3rd and 2.
They pick up 9 on the little mesh play. But get out of the shadow of the scoreboard. And now form it off to the right. Everyone else either on the offensive line or just off the edge of it. 2 to the left and 1 to the right. From the shotgun, Watson takes the snap, drops back to the 5. A man coming in fast. He hits the ball away. That's caught. There's a 1st down, and finally he's taken down at the 22.
They threw everything, including the kitchen sink at the quarterback. Unfortunately, 1 second too late. And unfortunately for the Chargers now, it's 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line for the Houston Texans.
This is a big play right here as we head rapidly towards the 2-minute warning. Timeout, Los Angeles, with 2:10 left on the clock.
Not sure about that play when the clock was going to stop in 10 seconds anyway.
Very, very interesting call, but it does give them a chance to re-strategize. Maybe they saw something they didn't like. Handoff now, trying to spin, taken out immediately.
No gain on that play at all.
2-minute warning. 2nd and 10 from the 22. The Chargers looking for a giant stop right here. A pivotal moment in this game.
A fumble, an interception, driving them back with a sack. They need something huge on this play.
Watson from the shotgun takes the snap behind the 15. Throwing out to the right side. This one's caught. There's the 1st down. And he's taken down at the 37. 15-yard pickup and a fresh set of downs.
And if they go into chew the clock offense, that time is going to drop. Oh, they're not. They're not using chew clock offense right now.
At least not as a feature. We'll see if they choose to snap it after 15 seconds.
That is true. You know what? I think that's exactly what they're doing.
Taking their time, not in a rush. Oh, I saw the offense jump there.
I did as well. No, it's 1st and 15 now for the Texans.
And the offense jumps. A loss of 5 on the flag.
There's that game right now. The Vikings 7-4. The Bears 9-2 coming up tomorrow night.
Handoff, pushing forward, some great running, picking up 14 yards and moving the ball to the 46. They'll clock it at 15. 2nd and inches, timeout LA with 1:11 left in the game. And from here on out, Lanchel, every single play is the biggest play of the game.
Agreed 100%. We've seen an awful lot of plays this game that are, 2nd and inches or it's been, or 3rd and inches. It's been very close trying to get across that line.
Absolutely. We measure this game in yards, then feet, then inches. And here, the smallest increment applies. Handoff right up the middle. He's hit hard, but he picks up a single yard, and that's more than enough to move the chains and keep the clock rolling.
That clock is now dropped under a minute.
LA can only stop the clock once, maybe hoping for another fumble on a big hit.
Mm-hmm. And Crafty letting that clock drop down.
Making LA watch as the clock drips down.
I've been on this side. I've been on the Chargers side of playing against Crafty Dinners and having this happen, and you just feel helpless.
The snap. Handoff, running up the middle and taken out immediately. Timeout LA.
And the Chargers calling a timeout.
Fighting every step of the way right up to the end.
There's no quit in the owners in this league, Meter. Is everything okay over there, sir? All right, 25 seconds left in the game. The handoff straight up the middle and is dropped. That sounds like that'll be it. 3rd and 5 with 16 seconds left. The Texans can just let that clock drain at this point. So make the final. The Houston Texans 10, the Los Angeles Chargers 3, in a game that was much closer than what the score reveals. And it's only a touchdown that makes the difference. However, you watched that game. You saw it, folks. The Chargers and the Texans fought head-to-head for that entire game. What a low-scoring game, 10-3.
Very low scoring, but very high octane, as usual, here in the TPCFL.
Right, that was a defensive battle. Let's see the final stats as they cross over here.
Wow. Rushing yards is such a standout here. A total of -1 from the Chargers.
That defensive line of the Texans and their run defense showed up and went to work today.
It did indeed, and Rivers turns around, shakes his head at the stadium, walks away to fight another day. He looks a little sore, but
I was going to mention that.
Not quite as sore as the lineup for the Texans. They took a lot of injuries here today.
Yeah, I said it earlier in the game. They may have won the battle, but they may have lost the war. It'll be interesting to see how they turn things around. The AFC playoffs, I can guarantee you the Texans are going in, but how are they going in? How banged up are they going to be?
That's a very fair point. And going into next week, how is that going to affect their game and their game plan with some of their biggest guys out going up against Jacksonville?
Jacksonville, they are a serious threat. They're under new ownership now. They've turned their season around some. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I will definitely be trying to keep an eye on that score, and it pops up on the ticker.
3rd down conversions 0 for 7 versus 4 for 7. Over 50% to didn't convert a single one. Very telling stats.
And look at the possession of time as well. 16:02 to 7. I don't remember what the last number was, but Crafty's such a master at clock management, and it shows in this game.
Very, very true. What an amazing game. Hey, guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and drop a subscribe now. Sometimes we're streaming just to Twitch and YouTube. Today, Mixer happened to be down on our streaming service, so thank you guys for coming on board anyway, jumping over to a different service, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and finding us there. So appreciated. Of course, we talked about the game tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a game 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We're going to see the Vikings and Kivstyle take on Colbus 1984 and the Bears.
I don't know who's going to win that game.
That is going to be an extremely close one.
Oh, it definitely will, and I can't wait to call it because, yes, I joked earlier that, about the Bears, but the Bears they're 9-2. They could easily defeat the Vikings tomorrow night. It's going to be a game you do not want to miss this.
Absolutely could not agree more. Go ahead and drop that follow. Go ahead and check us out, TPCFootball.com, because that's where you're going to find everything you want to know about this league at TPCFL on Twitter and TPC Sports pretty much everywhere else. Thank you so much for calling this game with me here today, Langell.
It was a pleasure to be here, Meter. I look forward to the next one already.
Absolutely. We will see you guys tomorrow, and in the meantime, I hope you all have an outstanding rest of your night.